Admiral's log. Another fierce encounter with an Italian battleship squadron has tested the mettle of our navy. In this engagement, we suffered the loss of 2 Chinese battleships, a battlecruiser and a heavy cruiser. While the Italians lost 2 heavy cruisers and 2 destroyers, the disparity in losses is becoming increasingly apparent. It is clear that our current plans for the invasion of mainland Italy will need to be reconsidered. The attrition our fleet is experiencing makes a full-scale invasion untenable at this moment. However, this strategic pause does not signify a cessation of our efforts against Italian interests. As our battleships undergo repairs, we're shifting our focus to a more manageable target, Italy's colonies in Africa. A smaller, agile task force has been dispatched to seize these territories, leveraging the weakened Italian presence and extending our influence further into the continent. The capture of these colonies will serve a dual purpose. It will disrupt Italian supply lines and diminish their colonial resources, while simultaneously bolstering our strategic position. This approach allows us to continue exerting pressure on Italy, without the immediate risks associated with direct invasion of their homeland. Hey guys, Stealth here, and welcome to episode 50. Yeah, 50. It's definitely the longest running campaign so far. We have a medium encounter with 2 of those Italian battleships. The one with the 18-inchers and one with the 14-inchers. This one's heavily armored, this one is most likely not. It is also escorted by a couple of cruisers and some DDs. Now, I have a very weird mix of ships over here. I have the Cursed Fish, the Hawaii, and the Zhangbei. These are all my own ships. Then we have this destroyer of the Ping Quan, which is a very old design of mine. This is a do not buy this class destroyer. That's the 816 million export thing. We got the Tenryu. I'm not sure where they got this, but I suspect that the Ottoman Empire at some point bought it off of Japan. Yes, Japan, back when that was a thing. This has me very concerned, for the simple reason that this thing is $312 million. It's packing 17.5-inch guns, which might make you go, ooh, that's really good. Yeah, but they're probably Mark 1. They will not be able to do a whole lot of damage, because they probably won't load very quickly, they won't be accurate, like, everything's wrong with these things. I also have the Hawaii, which I inherited from the Americans, and I have a battleship Aki, Chiton-class battleship, price 166 million. Please take note that my DD is 219 million. This thing is packing 4 12-inchers and then another 6, so probably an old Dreadnought design. This is going to be a really weird fight. Let's have a look. Aki. Yeah. Cute little thing. Many bulkheads, cramped crew quarters, capable of doing 21 knots. Stereoscopic 3 rangefinder. Radar has not been invented yet. Propulsion. Turbines. Like, not even geared turbines. Nope, standard turbines. Group 1 armor. Good lord. The interesting thing about this ship is I can just throw it away. It's 167 million. If this thing dies, well, I won't lose any sleep over it. Tenryu. Yeah, no. 17-inch Mark 1. 153-second reload. Probably no radar rangefinder. Coincidence 4 rangefinder, though. Gear turbines, aux 3. If we can just withdraw, I'd be in favor of that. Because I am not willing to fight this fight. Boys? Out. Thank you. Also, split up, because you can survive at 32 knots. But your friend is only going to slow you down, as it only does, what, 21 knots? Yeah. Run! Low fuel. Oh god, you're only doing 13 knots. Fine. Don't run. Crawl. Let's see. The enemy spotted to the southeast. Cursed Fish has a radar. Blips are, what, 60 clicks out? Yeah, 70 clicks out. Okay, we can disengage. Phew. Seriously though, the Ottoman Empire is going to have to go shopping for some better ships. Because this is utter shit. They just need to buy, I don't know, even a state belt of mine would be better than having one of these old battle cruisers sail around. Maybe you can intimidate the locals with this thing. But any serious naval fight, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. Thankfully, I was able to evac. If I can engage those battleships with my own 20-inch gun battleships, that's a fight I'm willing to take. The big battles with the Italian Navy might have taken a bit of a stop, but that does not mean we're not engaging the Italian fleet in various smaller encounters. Over here we have one of those 14-inch, I'm going to call them battle tanks, because they're so heavily armored. It is taking on the Foreign Policy. This is armed with 18-inch guns. Should be able to deliver some serious hurt to that Italian ship. The Italians is, well, they definitely carry a lot of armor. But with 18-inch high explosive, I should be able to make at least some dents in that armor. As for the DDs, two different classes. Both of these are still wiggling about, trying to find their footing in this weird storm that we supposedly find ourselves in. And I'm going to try and have those guys, well, maybe take some opportunity shots against the DDs. Oh, sorry, against the transports. Their range is somewhat limited. Especially the one with the 4-inchers only can fire out to 7.3 with high explosive. So that thing is going to take a little bit of time to actually do anything. Please do not hit my main tower. Would very much appreciate it if you did not. You refrained from any such nonsense. Let's not go broadside too much. This is a problem that the Foreign Policy has. Her guns are situated far front and far stern. She is somewhat capable of firing over her shoulder and thereby doing some damage without exposing too much broadside. But going, let's say, fully bow in really only limits my firepower to 50%. It's not really what I want to have in a situation where the enemy has pretty fast firing 14-inch guns. And 9 of them. Now, I'm not so sure about the Italian anti-torpedo protection on this one. I don't think I'll be finding out either, because my torpedo range is only 9 and 7. So it's going to be very difficult for me to get close enough to this thing without getting completely shot up by the secondary armament that the ship has, which is 8.5s and 18 7.1-inch guns. This thing does not like things approaching it. And my accuracy is really quite bad. 5.5%. Need you guys to smoke up. Yeah, in a storm, I know. Really, it's pretty awful. Why are we only getting 5.5%? What's going on there? Rough sea, yes. Stormy waves, yes. Daytime, yes. We got some damage and stability. The target's not maneuvering. Target size is giving me a bonus. What's their accuracy if they were to shoot at me? Not great either. Unfortunately, one of my DDs took a massive hit. Or at least it looked like it. But now it seems fine. Yeah, let's try to bypass that battleship and go directly after the transports before they slip away. You can still do a little more speed. Okay, let's do that. Increase speed to flank. I'm going to put you on AI control, so long as you don't rush yourself into your own death. We're still only getting 6%. Yeah, it's not getting any better. Okay. As for damage... We've hit him, what, once or twice? Yeah. Partial pen, partial pen, partial pen. I think partial pens are still preferable to a complete bounce that the 18-inch gun armor piercing might get. But let's try it. Let's see what armor piercing is going to get us. I would very much like to eliminate this ship. Yeah, we're not landing anything. Closing in with this ship, not really a good idea. Because the way that the Italian ship operates, those secondaries, they will eat me alive. And I cannot say the same. Ah, main deck partial pen, 320 damage. I think my DD is pretty much screwed here. Yeah. You're getting completely decimated by the 7-inchers. You're dead. Pretty much as expected. They were old destroyers. They weren't... I think they weren't even my destroyers. I mean, sure enough, I built them. But seeing as the AI that buys them never actually hands them in for refits, they're gonna be stuck in whatever era or year they were launched in. Alright, Paolo. Sorry, Pio. 4% chance to hit. The battle time is 2.5 hours. Or, well, a bit more than that. With your rate of fire, 2.6 rounds a minute. So let's say times 9? Sorry, that's per turret. You got 3 turrets. So let's say you fire about 8 rounds a minute. Times 60 is 480. Times 2, well maybe we can wait it out. But I kind of doubt it. Yeah, I should be able to go through the main deck with this, the shell fire. So long as my ship doesn't take too much damage and stability. What's yours? You got 13% damage and stability. Crew loss, not that bad for them. I can at least keep them at bay. Because they too are going to be struggling to maintain speed in this storm. And they're firing high explosive at my ship, which is something I should be able to handle. Yeah, especially if their high explosive is what, incendiary? 0.5% or 0.5 inches of armor pen? That's not going to cut it. It'll knock out some of the crew, but damage-wise, it'll be absolutely negligible. Whereas my 18-inchers are going to add up, given enough time. I'm going to disengage a bit. Just let them waste their shells. Especially their high explosive shells. It smells like they're firing a blend. No, now they've switched to high explosive. Their high explosive's almost out. After that, their armor piercing probably won't do that much. Let's continue maneuvering with this ship. Zigzag a bit. I know it's going to mess with my accuracy, but it's going to do their accuracy a lot worse. And they're going to run out of HE shells. At which point, their AP... I don't fear it that much. Let's say about 15-kilometer range before we actually hit something. They can pen 7 inches. My belts should be able to take it. The deck armor is fragile. The deck armor will not be able to take that. As for my own shell count, I should be able to trade them for a while. Zigzag. Chance to hit 4.5%. Mine is still better at 6. Just that I don't feel I'm doing a lot of damage against her. Price tag on the Sun PO? Hello? 2.2. Minus 1.8. I would hate to lose the battlecruiser, of course, but if I do... Let's say I still get less of a victory point loss than they get. So, in that case, yeah, I can probably make something happen here. You're about to run out of high explosive. Steady as she goes. More or less. 8% chance to hit. You should be just about out now. Yeah, there we go. Your chance to pen? Pretty awful, except for the superstructure. Go HE. That's helpful. Crew? Cramped crew quarters. Please, dude. You weren't supposed to start blowing up the secondary guns. I kind of overlooked the secondary guns when I was looking at my armor scheme. 9.5 accuracy versus 7 of theirs. Yeah, I cannot wait for them to spend 600 shells. Well, I might. Just wait out the enemy. Just wait him out. Because they do fire at a pretty decent rate. Yeah, just wait him out. Their speed is only 17.5 knots. I can do 22. Let's increase range, angle the ship, make it difficult for them to pen me, while still getting some of my own damage in, which is going to mitigate their accuracy. They'll continue throwing shells my way at pretty bad accuracy with low chance to pen. And after a while, they'll have no shells left. And I can just push in, survive the 8-inchers, if insofar as those still have ammo by that point, and eliminate the ship. Easy. After a good while, the Sun Pio only has 129 AP shells left. Now, what I have been noticing is that the stats, accuracy-wise, are just grossly wrong. This ship has an accuracy of 4.9%, which should mean that they have about a 5% chance to land any shell from a salvo. And yet, pretty much every salvo they'll land one shell. It just is almost clockwork consistent like that. Right now you can see them all flying over, but every once in a while it's like the AI goes, oh, yep, nope, this is the time, and they send one shell directly into the foreign policy. They actually managed to knock out the 5-inch guns on this ship. That caused a significant chunk of damage. It was, yeah, 7308. 14-inch shell hits the secondary gun with a penetration for 2,754 points of damage. Now, I've ceased fire with my ship to maintain some shells. This ship is about to go dry on her main guns, and her secondary armament is 8-inch. She doesn't have a whole lot of those. One quadruple 8-incher. After that, it's 7-inchers ranging really only 17 clicks. So it's about my time to start punching back at this ship. Let's close the distance a bit more and make sure that I get as much accuracy as possible, because I have 113 AP shells and 106 HE. And between those, I still have to be able to sink this thing. Now, it's not the most elegant way of sinking an enemy ship. I mean, it's not a big brawl. Just waiting out until the enemy runs out of shells. But, hey, I'm not opposed to fighting unfairly in a battle like this. And I don't really care if the transports make it out. The battleship here is a far more interesting prize. Let's throw high explosive at him first. Accuracy's 14%. They got 9 shells left, and then it's just high explosive 8-inch. 3 shells. And they're out. Oh dear. Now, I still have my 8-inchers. And I have very good accuracy now on the 18-inchers. So now we feast. Now we feast. I do have to be a bit careful with my crew, because I have lost 27%. Up to 45 is going to be enough to sink this ship. Which is still weird, but okay. This ship has lost 14% of her crew. I need to get a lot of damage in on her before my crew dies. And that really helps. There we go. Is she broadside? I believe she is. And I got quite a lot of muzzle velocity on these shells. 1400 with AP. Ship's 15 kilometers out. Her main belt is definitely not going to be pennable, but her fore and stern are. So let's hope that we can put some shells right through there. Here it comes. 23%. Accuracy's building up very highly. I do need to start turning away a bit more, because I don't like all that attention that I'm getting from those secondary guns. Come on, then. 592 from an aft belt pen. Go on. Nope, splashed it. 15 clicks out. 28% of my crew is dead. Also, apparently I completely messed up the calculation, because I thought the ship was never going to run out of ammo, but it completely did. So, apologies for that. My accuracy, or my calculation was apparently completely off. 28% crew loss. I need to get away from this thing. I refuse to get murdered by 8-inch secondaries. I just refuse. Can we please land a shell? Can we please cause some flooding on this thing or something? Jesus. 30 points of damage. From an overpen on the secondary gun. High explosive. That's a bit better. 18% of the crew is gone. Her main tower is gone, which leads her damage control parties to get no direction. But we're just not getting any kind of damage. At this point I am considering just switching this type of battlecruiser back to 16-inch guns. Because that always seems to be the sweet spot in a campaign. The 16-inch guns just seem to do consistently better than most of the bigger guns. 20-inch guns are fun if they hit. But most of the time it seems that they just don't. They just refuse to hit anything. And I really don't like that. Oh, we destroyed a main gun. That's funny, but unfortunately it doesn't really yield us anything. Also, I think we knocked that out with high explosive. What's your armor? Range? 17 clicks. You stopped firing. Oh, your HE is out of range. Your 8-inch gun has an angle issue? No, your 8-inch gun has been destroyed, sir. It doesn't have an angle issue. Look at how few chances I have to pen that ship. That's pretty bizarre. I'm running out of shells. I think I might not be able to kill her. After all this time. Armor. AP shells. I could try going bow in, but then I'd be, like, getting exposed to this 7-inch shell fire again. I really don't want to. I would love to build some accuracy, just go right through the belt armor, but I just don't see it happening. What sort of shells do I have on this ship again? Semi-ballistic armor-piercing shells. Yeah, that's probably why they're not actually damaging the ship that much. We're gonna need better armor-piercing shells. Maybe that'll redeem the 18-inchers. Maybe that'll fix it. Because at this rate, I too will run out of shells. Before accomplishing anything. Like, they're 59% structural, I'm 46. I actually came out of this battle worse than they did. That is very disappointing. Very disappointing. Oh, come on, dude. Like, we're not landing anything. There you go. Knocked out their conning tower. That's good. Fire control is going to take a massive hit now. There's another good hit. We got 28 shells left. That's not going to sink her. It's not going to knock out the crew either. Ceasefire. Bow in. Let's see if I can make something happen here. I want to take this thing out. And I hate that we're just not doing anything. The 8-inchers on this ship are doing what they can. They have, however, contributed very, very, very little. At least in the sense of raw damage. Crew loss. Like, they're on 26.8. It's not really doing a whole lot. We should be getting into range of those secondaries again. They got thousands of shells for that. Very uncomfortable. Missed. Come on. Nope. Everything whiffed. Come on! Again? Really? Last couple of salvos. This is just a joke, dude. 26%. Oh, and it blocked. Good lord. So now it's high explosive. It's high explosive 18 inch at about 12 clicks. So we can pen 13 inches of armor if we hit. And that remains to be seen. So I kind of expect that this is not going to go anywhere. Let's try and disengage. Before they still murder our crew anyway. And fire the last of our 18-inch shells on our way out. 50% for them, 45 for me. Yeah, we're dueling it out for way over an hour, but we're just not getting anywhere. Main guns about to fire the final salvo. Boom. Well, we did destroy the main tower again. 48% structural, 29% crew lost. Now we're just chipping away with 8-inch from mine and 7-inch from theirs. I doubt that's going to do a whole lot. Let's get out of here. It's been fun, Sanpio. I'll see if I can hunt you down with a 20-inch battleship later. Well, that took a lot of time, and unfortunately we got nothing to show for it except 2 dead DDs, a badly damaged Italian warship, and a badly damaged battlecruiser. No transports were harmed in the making of this particular battle. This next battle won't be any easier. The Grumpy Guy Gamer, the one with the 15-inchers, against the Corriera and the Venezia Trionfante, both 6 18-inchers. However, poor armor scheme. Maybe I can exploit that. The other ships I have are the Minami, which is a Kongo-class battlecruiser, so another Japan museum piece, as well as the Shantou, which is a Chengdu. That's my design. 6 12-inchers, 6 18-inchers if only. 6 12-inchers, a couple of torpedo launchers. Maybe those will be useful, but I believe these torpedoes are going to run into an anti-torpedo tier 5 blister. If I can even get them into range. Looks like the storm might be over, but the fog is still here. Lovely. Alright, so what's the Minami? Right. 14-inch Mark II. Guided by a coincidence rangefinder. Which, yes, it means that it's largely a coincidence if you hit anything, especially with this era. Range is only 17 clicks. Speed 23 knots. I really don't want to... Holy crap. Yeah, you're not fighting. You might be cheap as chips, but you're not fighting. You cannot take a single hit, Minami. Like, your armor is worse than that of the Italians. And that's not an insult, that's saying something. I'm going to detach the Shantou, at least as best I can. And see if she might be able to run into range with her torpedo launchers. Her torps are relatively older. They're only 21 inch as well. 13 kilometer range. Please split up. Thank you. Okay. Grumpy. 3% chance to hit. We're still fighting in some sort of a storm. Overcast. Moderate sea waves. Yeah, but apparently we're also lacking some speed here. Okay. Yeah. Target the lead battleship, load the high explosive, and start shooting. It's going to be pretty much as simple as that. Wait, you were shooting up transports? Dude. Pick a different target. Pick something your own size. Let us deal with the transports after that. Alright? Now, I don't particularly enjoy sending a Shantou out this way. I think it's really risky. But those torpedo launchers, I think, are her best bet. So I have to send her aggressively into the enemy forces and hope that she survives. Oh crap, you're running low on HE? Well, that sucks. I hate that all of these ships of mine are just getting sent out one by one. It's It's dying alone for my ships. They're supposed to work in tandem. Oh god, 13-kilometer range. Whoops. These things have secondaries, and they tend not to favor torpedo launchers very much. Well, ideally, they take the Shantu as a distraction. But by the looks of it, they're not taking the bait. I am not losing this battleship. It's 5 billion, I'm not losing that. Shantu, get in there. Come on. These things have no armor, correct? Ah, that's more like it. That was the Grumpy doing almost 3,000 points of damage. It looks like even the secondary guns are engaging... Even the secondary guns are engaging the Grumpy? Really? Okay, turn over to port. We can send one salvo. We might even hit the other battleship as well. Torpedo launcher starboard side. It's 10 tubes. It's only 21 inch. But flooding can be an asset. If they flood and they're unable to bring all of their guns to bear because this ship is listing over, well, I'll take that as a victory. I'm not sure what that torpedo is doing, but I guess it's doing something else. Oh, why did you have to start turning, dude? Are you gonna fall back in the formation or something? No, you're not. You're just turning. Okay, fine. Send the torps again. Port side. You still got 10 more tubes. Let's put them to good use. Chance to pen is 100%. Oh, sorry, chance to hit is 100%. So even with 12 inchers, I should be able to add some decent damage to that battleship. Okay, torps away. There you go. 12.9s are doing exactly what I want them to do. Corriera. Torpedo blister. Anti-torp 5. Yep. At this angle, it is... Well, I was going to say it's going to prove difficult to pen, but we're getting it. We're getting the deck pens, surprisingly. Yep. She might be old, but Shantu is doing it. Grumpy's done 3k damage. I like that. You've done 3.6. Oh, here's the torp. Oh, it's a dud! No! Is that your first or your second salvo? I think that was the second salvo. Oh, crap. Okay, fine. The Corriera is still taking a lot of damage. Go, HE. You're only using half your guns, right? Yeah, we're gonna change that up. Hold on, you got torped? No, you just got messed up by the 12-inch. That's what you get, Italy, for breaking or making a glass cannon battleship. That is exactly what you deserve. If only I can land some 15-inch high explosive. If only I had 15-inch high explosive. Wouldn't that be nice? Now, these guys are... Jesus. So hell-bent on taking down the Grumpy Guy Gamer. Oh, sorry, the Grumpy Gamer guy. That the Shantu is just butchering the Corriera. Which even gets a flash fire. So that's your 18-inchers out of the fight. We're going to switch targets. Because now it is just a really big cruiser with 6.8-inch guns. Switch targets. Venezia. The Venezia 2 is focused on the Grumpy. The real threat is actually this one. Oh, at this angle, I'm not so sure we're going to pen it. What sort of shells did I give her? Capitalistic 2. Well, we might be able to pen that bow on. Their bow is 0.3. Yeah. Oh, no, not much. You're still targeting the Grumpy. Okay then. I'm going to be real aggressive with the Shantu. If I lose this ship, it's 287 million. If they lose one of theirs, it's 2.2 billion. Let's go get them. They're turning broadside. Or at least we're looking at their broadside. And the rate of fire of these is pretty good. 35-second reload. They're the Mark IV. They're definitely an older generation of guns. But against glass cannons, they still got it. At least some of the 8-inchers seem to have... No, some of the 6-inchers have taken an interest. This is an unlikely win. Or at least an unexpected one. Pepper 'em. Cause flooding. Blow up their turrets, I don't care. Holy shit, 2.5? Your rate of fire is not nearly as good as mine. Well, I say that, but their rate of fire, their reload is 36 seconds. My reload is 35. Their reload is actually as good with 18-inch guns as mine is with 12.9s. Yes. Good work. We also need to still chase down the Corriera. These are fast battleships. At least the Venezia shouldn't be that much of a problem anymore. She's already done her damage, though. And the Grumpy had a flash fire. She's now a 5-inch... Jesus. She's a 5-inch threat. Okay, fall back. You need to go back and get new turrets. You need to do all the damage and finish off these 2 battleships. I believe you can do it. I believe you can... That's not part of this plan. Ow! Come on, at least sink 1 then, shall we? At least get 1. They're still targeting the Grumpy, which is getting more grumpy by the minute as the crew is dying and the structural integrity is dropping. Yes, 1300. Engine is damaged. They're flooding even more. Corriera is trying to help out, but I don't think that this ship is going to have a whole lot of difficulty with that. 33%. This ship has done 36,000 points of damage without a single torpedo launcher. That's impressive. She might bite the dust, though. But not before taking down 1, potentially 2 Italian warships. As for the transports, well, they, again, are not exactly going to be a priority. Because I can always demolish the economy later if I just get through these battleships. And I don't mean later in this battle, I mean later as a whole in the campaign. Oh, come on. You think you're angled? I think you're not. 18%, 38.9% crew loss. Yeah, we still need to focus this thing down. Go to high explosive. We're coming up on our stern. Get him, get him, get him. This ship is an absolute legend. It's like the underdog. Just completely unexpected that this ship did nearly as much damage as it did. If it had done a 10th, I would have been very pleasantly surprised. But this thing did 40,000 damage. The Grumpy did 3.5. Come on, knock it out. 17%, 11% structural. Finish it off. And then we're gonna switch fire to her sister, which will be joining her on the bottom very shortly. 41.7% crew loss. Surprised she hasn't flash fired yet. Oh, her buoyancy is dropping very quickly. Yeah, I think she might die to... Fuck! Flooding! No! Switch fire. Sink, you bastard. I keep forgetting that those Italian ships carry torpedoes. Shantu is probably gonna sink. Oh, you were such a legend. Please, sink. Are you fucking kidding? My god, I can't finish this thing off. Because I only have 5-inch guns, and I'm not going to expose the Grumpy to more fire. So the Italians have 2 really badly wounded ships, and I can't chase them down. Maybe the Minami, but she's 50 kilometers out. This ship probably won't be going very quick. I don't know, can the Minami come back? Those 14-inchers could be useful now. Corriera's not going to wait for that. Well, maybe. Alright, I need you to do 65 kilometers. Ideally quickly. Quickly in this case is 19 knots. Trionfante. Yeah, the Venezia is 55. If we can just get 1, I'll be happy. Now, I was trying to get the Minami into range. She was doing a good job catching up. The Venezia was only 24 kilometers out. And then she got hit. About once. Ammo detonation. Flash fires galore. I now have my biggest gun at 4 inches. Sorry, yeah, 4.2 inches gun. I think this ship is pretty much done for. I'm surprised she isn't completely cooked already. But I really, really hate it that the Venezia survived with 4% buoyancy and 6% structural, and her sister ship isn't doing a whole lot better. So I lost 2 ships, and the Italians gained 6,000 victory points. This has so far not been a very good episode. So yeah, that wasn't great. Let's see if I can recoup some of those losses in the next episode. Thankfully, victory points were still ahead by a substantial margin, but of course this is unacceptable. They've offended China's honor, they've offended the honor of our allies. We have to make them pay. Thank you for watching this one. I hope to see you guys soon for the next episode.